Hello, YouTube. How are you? I am an intro to CP in the Philippines. I am creating a channel, uh, potentially a blogger's channel. I don't know where it's going to go to, but I'm currently in San Carlos, Negros, Philippines. I've been staying here for a couple of weeks, and I'm still figuring things out. So I want to create a channel basically just to go through life in the Philippines. And this is my intro to this channel. Um, I'm CP, 44, from the US, and exploring different options of the Philippines based on my salary and my income. In America, I could barely afford it, barely um, establish a decent living in America on my budget. Um, I love to travel. I love the beauty of the world that God's created, and so knowing these things, I decided to change uh, the view and come to the Philippines. Now, my original step here was just for a vacation for 3 months and see where it goes, and then I enjoyed it, and then I figured out I needed an extra visa, some other stuff. Some things happened, and I never got to leave. So, but again, I enjoy it here. Um, Everybody's so helpful, so giving, so caring, so kind. Um, but there's a lot to the backstory to all of that. But again, I'm here in the Philippines, new to the blogging situation. Uh, I don't have all the fancy equipment that most do, so you're gonna have raw, uncensored, uncut video. Even when I make bloopers, this is the way it's gonna be. I try to be honest and straight up about every situation that I'm facing. My health is not correct, but hey, it is what it is. And so, yeah, I always tell people, live like your cup is half full, not half empty. So I'm hoping to get around and be able to show the parts of this country that uh, most don't get to see, and some do get to see, but don't appreciate. So this is my beginning, hopefully to something good and prosperous. Sorry. So yeah, I have a lot of YouTube friends. I have a lot of TikTok friends, and this is all they do. This is how they make their income. Uh, I'm, I'm hoping not for an income, but if it turns out to be an income and people actually enjoy what I uh, post or blog about. Right now, it's just the life in a hotel. Right now, uh, and the struggles of being here in the Philippines. It's it's a struggle sometimes due to the fact that stuff happens, just like everyday life. What you make of the situation um, determines on your outcome. So, I try to be a positive. I know it sounds like a downer situation, but I'm pretty, I'm pretty talkative, and I try to be creative, understanding. But you have to be careful here in the Philippines. You have to be careful what you do, what you say, where you go. Um, it is a tropical paradise. I mean, beautiful beaches, beautiful scenic areas, mountains, waterfalls. I mean, everything that most people see in the U.S. you'll have here, other than the four seasons, because it's always one temperature, hot and humid, or raining. So those are some of the things that you can handle. Come on, come and visit. Some people come here and get a bad taste in their mouth and want to go back home. Some people come here and never want to leave. Uh, each to their own. You know, I always tell people, let's disagree instead. Let's agree to disagree and still be friends. So, you know, each has their opinion. I would like to um, blog in the days of my life, kind of like a soap opera. You know, you're gonna learn something. You may learn something, you may not learn something. So, hopefully, as time goes by and I learn how to blog uh, and create this channel to be something successful, um, it's it's gonna be challenging for me. Uh, I don't always think clearly, so I forget a lot too. So, and I might forget to post. I might forget to make a video. So, but being here in the Philippines, you know, the dollar goes a lot further, and I see a lot of posts about videos on um, income and how you can live. And to be honest, depending on where you stay and the connections you make with the people, the more you make connections, the easier it is to live, the cheaper it is to live, the better life you'll have to live. It's not just about the money, it's about the group of people you hang out with, who you involve yourself with. That will actually help. You know, I'm a social butterfly. I love people, so you know I like to talk to everyone, and I treat them equally. And you know, I've met some famous people since I've been here, and it's pretty cool because they're all famous Filipino people. So you know, maybe uh, in time I'll get to meet more. But everybody I've met has been pretty interesting, especially here in San Carlos. It's a lot different than where I was staying at in the Batangas area, south of Manila. That's originally where I arrived and created somewhat of a life there. I rented a nice little apartment and rented from some really good people. So um, they call a lot of you get a lot of slack about your nationality and um, where you're from. You know, based because here in the Philippines, people that live here struggle every day because of the amount of money they make uh, and the life that they live. But you know, they don't complain. They just live life. And they got that I don't care attitude. You know, they just stuff happens to them and they don't care. They just still live. So you know, we can learn a lot from that attitude. So and that's I'm trying to get to is trying to learn. You know, some a different perspective, different mindset. I definitely had to learn how to eat differently because I'm used to eating bowls of cereal and steaks and different things that are better and not better for you, but taste to me for this palate of this tongue tastes better. So I miss a nice bowl of cereal. I miss a glass of milk. I like an actual cold glass of milk. So uh, it's definitely a different world. You know, depending on the area that you arrive in as a foreigner, depending on your location at your final destination, you might find good steaks. You might find fresh milk. But a lot of this stuff is not uh, readily available in certain areas. So um, you just have to. My brain, I get these foggy brains sometimes. Yeah. It is dark in this room because uh, it's cooler. So it's pretty hot outside right now, and it stays that way. And I keep the aircon going. I am renting a hotel room right now, uh, which I do miss my little apartment in Batangas. So, you know, I miss the people I've met, the friends I've made. They're all amazing. So, and I am recording on my tablet, so it's a little. I don't have a camera. I don't have a fancy phone. I just have a little tablet I brought with me from the U.S. Which the quality of stuff that you get from the U.S. to here is so much better in the U.S. than here. Even cell phones, you can buy cheap cell phones, and they're all like Samsungs, but again, they're extremely cheap, and the quality isn't there like it is in the States. So if anything, when you come, bring everything you have that you want as a convenience and a luxury um, here from the U.S. because I wished I would have brought so much different. I mean, a whole different situation. I wish I would have brought with me. Now I brought chargers from the U.S. which work a lot better than stuff that I purchased here in the Philippines. I mean, you order online, it's a 50-50 on if it's going to be quality or non-quality. So, and a lot of stores in like rural areas or province areas don't have the quality that you would look for. So it's good to um, have options, and it's good to bring stuff, uh, especially when you come in and you fall in love with the environment, the culture, the beauty of everything being so close to the beach. I love to fish. I fish quite a bit with in Batangas because the beaches are so close. I've learned how to fish the Filipino way, which is a drop line with several hooks, and you just drop it beside your boat and let it fall down. I'm used to fishing with rods, so and I've been in some boats, some sketchy looking boats, but they work. I'm a big guy, so these boats float with me in it, and I'm happy. I could swim, but still don't want to drown. Um, it's just an interesting world here, and it's a growth process, um, culture shock, the way people live here, the way they live so simple. You know, growing up in the South, my grandma used to leave food out on the table all day. Like we'd come in and just grab what we want. And, you know, before we had the discovery of bacteria and, you know, everybody worried about, you know, food. I mean, it was normal for us to come in. My grandma would cook a big old meal for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and we'll eat our breakfast. She'll put that away, and then leave the lunch and whatever's left over from lunch and dinner on the counter. So, and it's what they do here. You know, you go to a street stall and you order food, it's all there. It's not kept warm. It's not temporized. The temporary temperature controlled. It's just open food with a lid over it. I mean, sorry. Again, this is unedited, uncut. So, putting it out there straight. I haven't, not once, not yet, and I'm very thankful that I have not gotten sick. Um, you find reputable places to eat at, and don't be afraid to eat the street food. I'm very picky about my food and what I eat. So, you know, I still find street food that's edible that I actually like. I've tried a lot of different fruits that I've never tried. The amount of bananas they sell here, it's just all types. I mean, these little bananas are my favorite, and they're so sweet. They're so tiny, though. And you just walk outside and pick them off a tree. Um, there's so much to go on about here in the Philippines, but there are a lot of good and there's a lot of bad. So, uh, when it comes to relationships, from travel, uh, from going to tourism areas to local areas, um, finding local areas, you have less people, um, less traffic. Go to the tourism areas, you'll have a lot more traffic and you'll spend a lot more. You can spend and live comfortably on certain budgets depending on who you are. If you spend extravagant in the U.S., well, then you're going to really live good here. If you spend uh, budgeting in the U.S. or any country you come from, you're going to still live really good here. You wouldn't have to budget as much. Uh, but you got to realize when you go to spend money, it goes faster, and you will um, spend more money because you don't realize the difference in the dollar to the peso. Like, man, I just spent $500. Like that, because I know you get more for your dollar here, but because it's so cheap, you tend to spend more. You tend to give away more. If you're like me, even if I have my last dollar and there's a kid next to me and they're saying they're hungry, and I don't know what language that, this Visayan, uh, 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 Tagalog, whatever language they speak. This I know they're hungry, so let's go get you some food. So, and I'm more than happy. A dollar can buy you a whole entire meal here, especially U.S. dollar. You can buy like a piece of chicken and a thing of rice, and you're full. So, uh, you learn to cope in your areas. You have to adapt, and trying to adapt is, some people can't because they're spoiled in the U.S. and they like things a certain way. And it's like when I worked in the U.S. at restaurants or even businesses as I grew up. Everybody's I want it this way, and we as Americans, we tend to let them have their way. But here in the Philippines, it's one way. And if you don't like it, there's the door. But Filipino people try to cater to foreigners and make things easier for them. You got to realize when you come here and you act a certain way, they're still going to smile and do as you ask. But come here and don't expect too much. Open-minded, open heart, and just look. It's definitely a beautiful place to live. I've talked and rambled on too much. I just wanted to make an intro video. I'm going to try to post maybe 2 videos, 1 video a day. I know 1 video a day for sure. But even if it's just this, hopefully I can get some from the outside. I have traveled to some spots with people and enjoyed myself. Met a lot of foreigners, a lot of bloggers. So hopefully, my perspective might reach people in a different light, especially those that are on a budget, that it's a low budget, and coming over here. But anyways, we'll get into those things. And if there's anything that you want to know and there's a topic you want to talk about, I've been here almost a year. Got here in July of 2025, and now it's almost June now, so almost a year. So I've had a little experience. So thank you, everywhere, everyone, and have a wonderful day.